Hello, wealthy family, and welcome to today's video. Today, I want to talk about education, okay? And I want to talk about the education given to us and our children here in the United States, okay? I can only speak on that because that's the only place I've gone to school, okay? Now, I know a lot of people have spent a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of energy, a lot of effort into their schooling, into being great students, and they pride themselves on their scholar knowledge. Okay, I, however, am here to tell you, with all due respect and all the love, that your education means nothing. Okay, today, this day and age, your education that you received in school, if it was on a public setting, or even if you continued on in the private sector in college, it means nothing. Because the knowledge that we need right now needs to be knowledge of self in order for us to survive. And right now, hell, in the whole history that I know, our schools are not educating us on how to take care of ourselves. What school did from a very fundamental age, because depending what generation you were born in, you may have been able to stay home until it was time for you to go off to school. But if you grew up in a generation where parents had to work, then you may have went to daycare or preschool, okay? But let's just say that you didn't go to school until 4 years old. Now, a child up until the age of 7 is like a sponge. Their mind is in like a hypnotic state and they absorb everything, right? They learn from their surroundings and they just soak it all up, okay? So until 7 or 8, everything that child learns and sees is formed in their mind and it will play out for their life, for their adulthood, right? Isn't that crazy? That's when their subconscious mind is programmed. So if you take a child and you tell them to observe something in a two-dimensional manner, but they are three-dimensional beings, meaning push this button and hear the cow go moo, or look at this picture and see the cat and learn how to spell it this, and this, but the child isn't experiencing it, and then you continue to make them stay in a setting where it's closed, right? Especially lately, they're not having much interaction with other people, other adults, or other children their age. What those 12 years of schooling does from age 4 to 18 is just teach you how to mindlessly go through things and see how good you can do on a standardized level. Take these instructions, take these tests, let me see where you score, where you level out at, have perfect attendance, keep showing up even if you hate this shit and have no relatability at all. Okay? That's what school does. And through it all, you're expected to deal with your own individual feelings in a way that cannot be expressed, although there's a million, or not a million in the school, but hundreds of other people that look like you that are probably going through the same thing, but you all are not taught how to express your feelings in a way that's beneficial for everyone. Instead, you're told to suppress that, and anyone who acts out or thinks differently, now you're labeled, right? So now you have to start forming these cliques in order for you to survive, so you can feel some type of sense of community, okay? Not to mention the curriculum that is fed is a bunch of lies, okay? And the ones, excuse me, and the ones that are not lies is just befuddled mess that's construed and stolen and manipulated, okay? So, and I'm sorry if it sounds like I'm going on an all-out tangent against education. I mean, I sort of kind of am, but it's just a matter of that things have to change. Ooh, the sun is bright on me. I mean, when I started it was here, but ooh, I can't see now. So I'm not on a tyrant against education. It's just the way that we are educated. The way that we are educated, where we are indoctrinated. We're taught to just follow the mindless instruction. Do not question. Do not express yourself. Okay? That is what school did for you. to prepare you to go out into the work field to now take instruction from people who probably still aren't as smart as you or know half of what it is that you know, but you cannot express your individuality because you are programmed not to do that. Do not express yourself. Take these orders, take these instructions, and keep going because we know what's best for you, okay? And that prepared you for a life of adulthood, of not going within, not thinking for yourself, not looking and appreciating at your individuality, not looking and appreciating your individuality, okay? So when you take a child and indoctrinate them, they now become an indoctrinated adult. And now that indoctrinated adult just takes the information and they are comfortable with just taking the information and not questioning it. That's indoctrination because they were taught that in school. Not how to meditate, not how to love yourself, not how to manage your money, not how to do any of the things that would be conducive for you, not how to be a better human being, not how to love the environment and be one with it. Okay? It was just something to pass the time and to make sure that you're docile enough to continue. And those who are really, really adventurous, now you can go ahead and continue on to college to learn more things that is unnecessary and put yourself in more debt. So you always have to run this hamster wheel of indoctrination. We're not going to teach you how to grow your own food or how to build your own home, because we never taught you how to experience things in the third dimension. We always taught you on a 2-dimension level. Do you understand that we read about animals? For those of us who are lucky enough, we read about animals and read about zoos and read about oceans instead of going and experiencing these things. We read about gardening instead of actually building a garden and experiencing it. That's how we learn. We're supposed to connect. So when you take a human being and you snuff out that inquisitive nature, that spark of light that's in them as a child, now when they grow to be adults and they say, no, the thing that I've held so much pride in, my education, I was a good student, I'm very learned, I must be informed, but you're not realizing that everything that you're learning is just surface level. It's not authentic. You have to go out and experience the authenticity of things so you can understand when people are pulling the wool over your eyes. And that is what's happening now. There's a lot of people who pride themselves on their education. I am educated and I know what is happening, and what you're saying is crazy because it goes against my education. But for those of us who have authentically lived and experienced things, we can say no. Our experience tells us this. Forget your 2-dimensional education, which you read from a book, from a paragraph. I'm telling you, this is what I'm experiencing in the real world. But again, we're taught not to give into our individuality, not to expand ourselves, not to question things. So those of us who do, we seem crazy. I'm here to let you know, you're not crazy. And you have the right to question everything. And you should question everything and not just take orders driblessly, mindlessly. Break free of that indoctrination. Allow your knowledge to come to you from all different angles. That way you can have a peripheral view of things. That way you can be relatable. Go out and experience things. You know what my experience has shown me for 2020? That the narrative that we are living in a global pandemic is a bunch of crap. It's a bunch of crap. Now, I'm not saying that people are not passing away. I'm not saying that people are not sick. I'm not saying that you should go out and be a bad humanitarian. I am saying that the story, the narrative that we were living in a pandemic is a bunch of crap. And I can say that with confidence because my experience of traveling, you all see me in Chicago, you see me in Milwaukee, you see me in Houston, you see me in New Orleans, just to name a couple places in the last few months I've been. I went to San Francisco, my birthday in February, where we went to Chinatown. So many places. Back home, Miami, South Florida. So many places. Georgia, so many places. My husband has been somewhere everywhere. And people are not dropping like flies. There's been no need to close businesses. But those who question it, who go against the norm, are being labeled as uneducated, selfish, and all other types of things. I need you to know that that thing that makes you get so angry when someone expresses a different opinion than yours is the education indoctrination. That's what that is. It is the indoctrination that we have experienced, that we have been fed for the majority of our lives. And it's a hard thing to shift out of. No, not hard. It's a difficult thing to shift out of, but it can be shifted. You have to shift that mentality and know that you no longer will stand for the foolishness. And know that it's okay to question things, and it's okay to have a difference of opinion than others, despite the standardized testing that you feel you should fall into. If you don't fall in this back bracket, then you have a label on you. They labeled me as gifted in school. But you know how I got into gifted? You know how I got into the elite schools? Because I used to question everything. I would run my mouth and ask so many questions. They didn't know what to do with me. And my asking questions allowed my knowledge to expand. And they was like, this child is still going. All right, let's go ahead and test her. And then I got to the age where I was like, this is a bunch of crap. And I took it from there. Do not allow labels and the box that you have been put in from when you were young, unconsciously, it was unconsciously done to you, it was unwittingly done to you. And some people are so comfortable in it that they don't even realize what's happening. It's okay. It is okay. We are in a time of information. We're living quite literally in the age of information. In the age of Aquarius, the water barrier. Information is coming from everywhere. Take what serves you and leave the rest. But it's time to move out of the indoctrination mentality. Let your education go and know that everything that you've learned is trash. Just throw the whole thing away and start new. It sounds difficult, but it can be done. Okay, wealthy family, that's all that I have for you today. I love you all. I hope that you all continue to stay in high vibration, stay healthy, stay aware, and stay alert, okay? And continue to live in love.